Hello, welcome to today's letter with me. I was been trying to think about what I wanted to do today, and then someone mentioned that it is Friday the 13th, so I figured I'd just do a quote based on Friday the 13th. But first, before we get into that, I got more pens. So Right Tech, the company that I showed last time, sent me more of these other journaling kits that are based on. Ooh, sorry. Let me fix my camera. Alright, hopefully that's better. But yeah, they sent me more of these journaling kits that are. Oh, this is not good. Okay. Sorry, let me fix my camera. I think I know why. Okay, hopefully this is better. But yeah, so I thought I'd just swatch some more colors. They sent me four in total, and I did a post today using their greens, and it's their greens, but this is their reds and pinks. So I'll just do a little swatch before we get into the actual lettering portion. Back of a failed piece of lettering. But this is the red brush pen. Dual brush pen, I guess. I like their colors. They're not super bright, but they're but that's kind of why I like it. They're pretty muted, which is nice. Not the biggest fan of super bright colors. Alright, so that's more orangish than pink, but that's okay. And then this one is the other dual brush pen, but I think the brushes are a little bit smaller. Although I will say I noticed that with their last set that I used, it was the brushes were starting to fray already, and I had only used it briefly. So maybe these brushes don't last as long. And I'm using it on a rodeo, so it technically shouldn't be too rough on my brushes, but who knows. Alright, and then this is really light. So this is more like a highlighter, I think. I don't know if I can do too much with it for lettering purposes, but we will see. Here's their ballpoint pen in red. Ooh, I like that color. This is more like maroonish, which is up my alley. And then this one is, I don't know, more brownish yellow maybe. Can't really say that any of these are very pink. I guess this one's pink and this one is coral. And then there's their retractable highlighters. If I was still in school, definitely be using these for highlighting notes. Not sure what I would be using it for now. So I actually really like the red in this series. I don't know about the other colors, but red would work well with today's quote, which I'm gonna do Friday the 13th is still better than Monday the whatever, which is appropriate because today is Friday the 13th. So hopefully everybody's day went okay and there was no terrifying situations happening. Okay, so trying to decide. So I was thinking of doing some more banners because everybody seemed to enjoy today's posts banner, so I'll just do a little bit. Oh, and again, I don't know why my camera can't seem to focus today. Hello. Let's see. Maybe. Okay, hopefully this is better, and hopefully it stays. Keeping my fingers crossed. Well, thank you. Yes, my trip was pretty great. I had a lot of fun. Especially just seeing my friends. It's not even like going anywhere, although that was fun. But like just being able to see them because I haven't been able to see them since I guess over 3 years. So it's good to see them. And they're like friends that I've known since high school, so it's been a while that we've known each other. Yeah, it was fun. I wouldn't say your camera focuses on vacation. Very true. It's good. It's on strike. It doesn't want to work yet, which I can completely understand. This week's been pretty. Work has been pretty difficult in keeping focus. Um, but yeah, I would like to go back on vacation and not worry about work, but alas, gotta make money somehow, I guess. Trying to think how to do this banner. Hopefully the focus is okay now and not giving me too much trouble. Alright, so I was gonna make the center bit a little bit. Alright, Friday the 13th is still better than Monday the whatever. Better than I would like to still be on vacation. And today was really hard too because my bosses are all on vacation. I don't know if they're on vacation, but they took the day off. So it's very much slacking off at work. Hopefully this doesn't come back to haunt me. But yes. Alright, I'll try that. See how it goes. But yeah, I think I was saying that it wasn't very relaxing of a vacation. Because we did pack a lot and also we did like do some physical exertions. So like I came back even more tired. But at least it was just like, you know, physically tiring. Although now, like, I just realized that this year is making up for the last 2 years of or 3 years of not traveling. Because I'm going to Kentucky next month, and then in September. Sorry, I'm trying to get this focus to work, but it doesn't seem to want to be focusing. And then in September, I'm going back to California because my friend's getting married, but this time in LA, not in Northern California. So I'm just like a lot of traveling, which can be fun. And then my husband's going to, so I'm gonna try to manually focus this camera and see if it works better. No. My husband's going to Vegas in November, and I want to go with him, but I might not have any money left. So we'll see what happens. Okay, I give up. Hopefully the camera figures itself out. Or I might have to look for a better camera. Or go back to using my phone for Instagram Live. Monday. that's not gonna work. So I need to fix my legibility because nobody can read this if I do it my correct way. So how's y'all's week been? And how was your last weekend? And do you have plans for this weekend? I was hoping to like spend this weekend cleaning because I actually didn't really, I mean, I unpacked, but I did not do laundry and all that stuff yet, so I need to do that sometime this weekend. But my friends friends from New Orleans are visiting, and then tomorrow is our local brewery's 7th, 8th birthday. So they're throwing a thing, so we're gonna go. So we'll see how I feel. But I do need to get some laundry done for sure. Because we went camping, there was fire and a lot of smoke. And yeah. The Airbnb we stayed at was really nice, and they had like 2 washing machines. So we were all like, ooh, maybe we can do laundry. And then we realized that there was no detergent, so we could not do laundry, sadly. This week was so busy, exhausting. Oh, I'm glad it's Friday. Sitting by the fire pit for the rest of the night. Oh, that sounds amazing. I have come to appreciate fire pits. So, apparently Northern California had a pretty cold weekend while we were there. So we spent a lot of time by the fire and finding fire to sit next to. It's kind of crazy because it's super high here. It's like swimming weather. And then nobody wants to be near a fire here. But good, I'm glad it's the Friday, and hopefully you get to rewind and relax. Alright, so this is not my usual layout. This is fairly rectangular, which, I don't know, is not my favorite kind of layout style, but it'll do. But yeah, when I stepped off the plane back here in New Orleans, I was like, ew, I could feel the humidity immediately. And I really wanted to get back on the plane and go back to California because, you know, I kind of prefer that cold, windy weather to humid, stifling summers of Louisiana. Don't tell my husband I said that. Friday the 13th. But I didn't get to letter very much when I was last weekend, which was kind of nice. Like, it was a good break. I did letter at the airport because I went to before, like, on Thursday, I went to the airport maybe 6 hours earlier than my flight so that my husband wouldn't get stuck in traffic. So I didn't have much to do. Played some Switch, did some lettering, and looked at the clock a lot. But then after that, I didn't really get the chance to letter. But I did do one drawing. I tried to draw this beer that I was drinking at a brewery. But, you know, drawing in front of people is more terrifying than lettering. So it was not very good. I guess when you're more confident in whatever artistic style you're doing, it's easier to do it in front of people. But I feel like I'm still learning how to draw and sketch, so even in front of my friends, I was like, maybe not. So I brought all my supplies for nothing. Extra weight on the plane. At least my fountain pen didn't explode, for which I am very grateful, but my Tombow hardtip did, so that was nice. Good thing I have extras at home. But also that was the first time I think my Tombows exploded from the plane. Like, I brought it back to Taiwan many times and it's never leaked or anything, but not sure what changed this time. But now I'm pretty like wary of bringing brush pens back. Or brush pens while flying. I was going to use these color brush pens from Right Tech, but I realized that I can't really post this on my feed because Friday the 13th is today, not sometime next week. So I think I'll just do this in black and white and then save the brush pens for another day. Wow, that R is not good. Alright. I'm gonna make Friday the 13th a little bit taller, I think. That's the most important bit of this quote should probably stand out a little bit more. So, let's see if I can fix it. Now it looks weird. I might have to look for a new webcam. For some reason, I just feel like it's super blurry, which is really annoying. Lettering numbers is a lot harder because I guess we don't practice it very often. So it always looks weird to me when I try to do it in a lettering style. Maybe I should do more letter practice or number practice. Oh, and also I went to a stationery store while in California, and it had like rows of pens, and it was amazing. But I managed to refrain from buying anything because I knew I didn't have much space left in my luggage. I guess that's the good thing about carry-ons. Like, you can't bring liquids, so you can't, and you have a very limited amount of space in your little duffel bag, so it saved me some money. But I mean, not really, because I ended up spending all my money on food, but I think that's okay. Okay, this looks a little bit more even, I guess, so time to start inking. So yeah, I just feel a little bit out of practice when it comes to lettering. I think I did one since I've been back home. And that one didn't turn out like... Oh no, I smudged it. Of course I did. See if I can fix it. With my sand eraser. Nope, I think I'm just making it worse. Oh well. Oh well. Also, jet lag is, even if it's just like a 2-hour time difference, is pretty crazy. Like, not sure if it's because I'm getting older, but like, I don't remember it being so hard to get over jet lag. I just ended up going to bed at like 10 or 11 and then waking up at 5. Even though I didn't really get 8 hours of sleep, but like my body is just like, nope, it's time to wake up because this is when we normally wake up in Louisiana. So I feel like I was running on a deficit of sleep. So hopefully, I'm glad that they are getting rid of daylight savings, because even that 1-hour time difference is hard. Oh, that was really bad. My lines aren't very straight, but I will probably just color this in so I can straighten my lines after the fact. I was watching a reel today of this, I guess, baker, and she was doing like designs on her bread. She was doing it on a Lazy Susan, and I was like, hey, that's a great idea. I should put my notebook on a Lazy Susan so then I can just turn my book or this Lazy Susan however I want it to go. But then I realized my hand would just probably fall off the side of the Lazy Susan, so maybe not such a great idea. And then my friend showed me this Cricut mug maker that you can create designs, I guess, on your regular Cricut, and then using that mug maker thing, you can stick the design onto your cups or print it. I don't really know what the mechanism of it is, but it looks pretty cool. And I kind of want to get it, but it's also $200. And I barely use my Cricut already. So maybe not. Plus, like, I guess I would have to buy the cups to print on as well, so it's pretty expensive. Initial setup costs. And I don't know if I can sell enough mugs for it to be worthwhile. But it was just really cool. I'd probably just make it for myself all the time, because my husband breaks cups like no tomorrow. And luckily, I did not come home to more holes in our walls, although I did discover a new hole today. But not as bad as I thought. And the house was fairly put together. Good job, husband. But my dogs I feel like my dogs required a lot of petting. I think they didn't get very much while I was gone. They were very needy. I feel like I am just their petting servant at this point. Alright, so that's ink. Not too terrible, I guess. I'm gonna wait for it to dry a little bit so I don't accidentally smudge it some more. There was one downside to this trip. We didn't eat as much Asian food as I wanted. I think the first day, because we went camping and hiking, we mostly just cooked or barbecued at the campsite. And then the next day we were in Monterey, which doesn't have very much Asian food, at least that we could find. But luckily on the third day, we were in, can't remember which city, but it had the soup dumpling store of Din Tai Fung. So we had that. And then for dinner we had ramen. So that was really good. But yeah, I need to make another trip back so I can just mainly focus on eating all the Asian food. And I wish our conference that I'm going to in June was in a place with more Asians instead of Kentucky, because then I could just spend the entire time eating. But alas, I guess I will have to go to some workshops instead. I feel like I spend most of my trips when I travel just eating, which is, I mean, it's fun. You know, it's always nice to see different cuisines and different restaurants. Like, I think we've eaten most of the restaurants in our town. Of course, we can always go to New Orleans to eat different ones, but still, like, we don't really want to drive 15 minutes because we're lazy just to go eat. Alright, I'm just making this thicker so I can do some thin shading lines for this banner. I'm gonna grab my 005 Pigma. That's pretty thin. Missed the line. Well, I think my 005 is a little bit too thin, but oh well. I can't find... Actually, that's not true. What can I say? 805 01. Try 01 instead. Yeah, it's darker. I always feel like these shading lines or whatever you call them are what makes the banner look good. Because I guess it makes it look more 3D and like it's really, some bits are further back and some bits are closer up. And I always have to remind myself not to overdo it because I want to like cover the whole thing in shading lines. Okay. I'm gonna color my letters in, I think, the brush pen actually, so it doesn't take me 10 hours to do. I feel like my brush pen is running out of ink, but I feel like I had just started a new pen. Maybe that was a different pen. We went to trivia night on Tuesday, and the theme was music through the decades. So we did like 1960s, 1990s, and 2000s. And I can't remember what the last one was. But yeah, I did not know any songs from the 60s. Thankfully, my husband knew some. But then we got to like, there was one decade that, you know, we kind of just gave up. We didn't even bother trying. Thankfully, it was like a multiple choice decade, so we could just guess. And we managed to guess right on like 3 questions out of 8. But otherwise, man, I forgot what decade it was, but it was just impossible. And it wasn't even that long ago. I think we just didn't know like any of the. It was like a modern decade. But after every trivia night, I'm always like, I should brush up on more modern or popular music, or like stories. I feel like he likes to do that, or like pop culture. I'm very not in the know for pop culture anymore. Last week he did one on Star Wars, and I think we got like 1 question right. I'm always like, we need to find somebody who is into like Star Wars and also hip hop, also good at sports, because we were both terrible at sports. Trivia. Luckily, there hasn't been like a sports category yet. But the first time we went, there was like Friends questions, which I've never actually watched the entire Friends series. I've seen like episodes here and there, but never actually sat and watched the whole thing. Surprisingly, my husband has, but he remembers nothing. There was also a category on Disney, and that's when we realized that we really don't know anything about Disney, because I think we only got like 1 question right. And it's not like even we did some of the movies we definitely watched, but it was like obscure knowledge, like what is the prince in Little Mermaid, what's his name? Like after we heard the answer, we knew, but when he first asked it, I was like, oh my god, I don't know. Also, what is Gaston's sidekick's name? And I have already forgotten the answer to that one. So yeah, we need like friends who have diverse knowledge, because we apparently do not. Like the best category that we had was the Harry Potter category, and only because I really love Harry Potter. But even then, I realized I'd forgotten everything. Should definitely brush up on my popular culture knowledge. Oh, no, actually my best category was food, which is not surprising. I think the hardest part about trivia is like you sometimes just have the answer on the tip of your tongue, but you can't quite place it, or you can't like articulate it. And that's always super frustrating. And then you get an answer and you're like, oh my god, I knew that. It was on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, it's fun. And we get to meet people. So it's a good expensive hobby. At least it's only once a week. Or we might be broke. Okay. So far, so very simple. I think I'll just make these a little darker outline. I'll leave it inside white. Whoops. I feel like my hands are definitely not as steady. Who knew a few days break would be so tough? I always feel like I need to like warm up before I start lettering. And then when I get down to it, I'm like, nah, I'll be fine. And then when I'm lettering, I'm thinking to myself, I probably should have warmed up. At least with like straight lines and stuff. Gonna round out the inner corners of the letters to make it a little bit different looking. You're thinking of getting a fountain pen? Can I say yes? Yes, please do. It's great. Like, I don't go through as many pens now that I started using a fountain pen, which is fantastic, I think, because I can just refill my ink. Unlike fountain pens, they have different width nibs, so you can get like a really thin one, or you can get a thicker one. And there's so many options. Like, that's probably the hardest part. There's just so many options. Oh, I used the extra fine EF for TWSBI. I still think it's a little bit too thick, and I kind of wish there was something thinner. But Pecky gave me this preppy platinum fountain pen. I think it's cheaper. Like, she said it's one of the cheaper ones, but like it has an extra fine. So I can show you. And she also bought me some inks. So this is the extra fine for this preppy pen. And then my TWSBI is thicker. Slightly. Like, it's not the biggest difference, but it is a difference. Also, I have another fountain pen. It's just a Sailor Fude one, so it's the one with the weird tip. I don't know if you can see it. It's like flat. So the good thing about this one is you can do different widths. I think my ink's drying out on this one. I have to clean it. But like with one fountain pen, you can do multiple weighted lines, which is apparently what a lot of urban sketching folks like to use, but I also find it very useful for calligraphy. But yeah, those are the different fountain pens that I currently own, and I think they serve me pretty well. But if you're just getting one, I would start with the TWSBI extra fine nib. I think it's pretty all-purpose. You've gone too thick? Well, if you like thick, that's an option. Also, I think there's some fountain pen companies. I think the Lamy, you can switch out the nibs, so you don't have to buy a new whole fountain pen if you want like different weighted or different thicknesses. But I don't, with the cheapest TWSBI you cannot, so. I think with the thicker nib ones, you can color in probably a lot faster then the extra fine nib. Also, there's a lot of different kind of ink. I saw some really pretty ones at that stationery store in LA or in California that I went to. But there's some ink that's waterproof and some that aren't. So if you're looking for waterproof ink, just make sure you buy the waterproof kind. I know that TWSBI doesn't come with any cartridges, and it's one of those you fill it up kind. So make sure you also buy some ink if you do go with that pen. Also, there's like, different colors. Gray, black are probably good for lettering. But then there's like glittery ink and pink and all sorts of colors. I still have to do a piece with the Uniball mechanical color pencils, and I'm not entirely sure what to do with it. I might do it on black paper and just do a lettering piece, but I've never done anything with color pencil, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, I think I'm done. Oh wait, forgot the grab my pen. Also, some paper definitely handle fountain pen inks better than others. Like, I was doing punk postcards before this, and I was using my fountain pen, which it worked, but like it feathered quite a bit, just kind of annoying. But Rhodia paper is just, it works great with fountain pen ink. All right, so I'm just gonna do some white highlights. On the black so it's not so dark. I wish Poscas came in even thinner nibs. I guess I could always just use my Signo. I just need to replace my current one because it's not working very well, but I hate like throwing out pens when they're not completely used up. So I've just been keeping it in my pencil case even though I don't really use it, which is really dumb. I don't know why I do that. I think I went too close to the edge, so let me fix that. Okay. I think I'm going to use my jelly roll for these guys. I always start with the Poscas and then I regret it immediately. I don't know why I never learned my lesson. My jelly roll is running out of ink. I wonder if they have like white fountain pen inks. Something to look into. Alright. Although I guess you would have to be like something like jelly, or what do they call it? Oh shoot, paint type material for it to show up on the black. Whatever. Okay, so that's done. Really quickly, I'm going to do some shadows, and then it's done. Fairly simple, not the most exciting of compositions, but you know, whatever, it works. I don't know why, but I just really don't like it when I do these like long type of composition, even though I think maybe it's just the fact that my notebook is a square, so it looks like there's so much empty space, and that's what bugs me, but who knows. My gray is running out of ink, if you can't tell. And my brush tip is getting quite frayed, which is a bummer. I think still out of all my gray pens that I've used, this one, the Sakura Koi coloring pen ones are the best. With like the mild liners, but not too far behind it. Also, I don't know why, but I thought my ink was waterproof, but it's coming off with this gray, which is helping because it's making the gray darker than it actually is. But now I'm kind of like, why is it coming off? Because it shouldn't be. Okay, so that's gonna be it for today. Thank you guys so much for joining. Hope you have a wonderful weekend and a relaxing, not stressful time. And I'll see you guys next week. Yeah, I don't think I have anything going on next week. Same time, same place. Thanks, guys. Bye.